What do you say, whole heads? Welcome to Taco Tuesday, the post-Worlds edition. Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO. Frank Geers, the Cornhole Dude. Happy Taco Tuesday. Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm sipping for both of us
yes,
today.
he is. I'm still in recovery mode, but things are much better than they were this time last week. And we got a lot to get to. We want to give credit where credit is due, as we promised that we would. We want to look ahead. But first things first, I think Motley Crue was the one that said it. Worlds, worlds, worlds. Wasn't that the big song?
Is that right?
Was it worlds, worlds? Oh, no. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, close enough. Bottom line is we really want to hyper-focus on that. And as I said, look ahead. And in the spirit of looking ahead, how about this?
Dude, your little black player jersey there is pretty solid.
Now, I know what you're saying. So you're saying I look pretty
slimming.
solid.
It's slimming.
Well, that's why I got the black version of it. But the red, white, blue version, outstanding. Glover did an outstanding job on these. Jack and Paula, outstanding. Saw a lot of people wearing them for the
it does have the nice Season 20 logo on the back.
Does it?
Little
Nice.
mouth. It's very beautiful.
Very good. Maybe I'll show at the very end. I'll show you my backside. Yeah, give you a little look at my backside. Depends on how things go. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, but Finn, you aren't a player. And I know I wanted to try to get one that said play, yeah, but they didn't do it. So anyway, but the bottom line is these are out there and available, and they look awesome, as did all the pro jerseys and everything that we saw at the World Championships. Our social media accounts are all the same. Make sure, if you haven't had a chance to go back and look at some of the videos, go to the YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, do everything you can. Let's get these views up exponentially around the world. There's some great content on there, and there's some already massive views piling up. But I think the level of play that we saw absolutely deserves to be spread worldwide and throughout the universe for all those who can see our YouTube channel. As always, Instagram, you can check things out there. And if you want to receive push texts, which is, especially around this time of year, is pretty important, where we can send messages and things right to your thumb tip and links to your tip of your thumb. Make sure that you opt in. Just text ACO to 833-695-1318, 833-695-1318. And what that will do is opt your phone number in to receive messages. Again, we're not going to blow you up with them. Back on August 1st, we sent you another Save the Date update with some new cities in there. There are 2 more Pro Series to be added to that list, and a couple more cities still to be finalized, but you can at least start looking around and seeing what cities you want to go to. Some of our favorite cities are on there. Some of our favorite cities are not on there this year, but maybe back in future years for different reasons. I mean, normally this time we'd be heading, for instance, to the Field of Dreams, but they're doing a massive construction project out there, so we're going to take a couple years off and see where that leads. But again, take a look at that Save the Date, start making your plans, and start thinking about how you might want to earn yourself one of those Road Dog Awards, which many did this year, enough that I think we had to have a whole semi out those awards. So any and all of that as far as our social media or the text messaging. And also a reminder, if you do receive a text message from us with information, at the bottom when it says stop, that's not to stop that message. That opts you back out, so you'll have to opt in again. So we will not blow you up. We also don't answer questions at that link because we don't want to get into this interminable loop of you having to pay for text fees or all of that. It's just for you to receive messages, click through on links, and have what you need right at your fingertips. I think, with all that said and done, we should get to the Worlds.
We should.
What do you think?
I'm pretty excited about what you've got to tell me about all these winners and everything that took place there. Because,
I'll tell you something, and I had to go old school, man, because I was looking at this and I'm like, whew, baby.
There's a lot for you to report on, a lot for me to sit back and enjoy this Olympic beer right now.
That's why he has 2, because he knows he's not going to be saying a whole lot this time. But I would tell you, based on, you should have known, I mean, during the award ceremony, the number of people that were awarded and rewarded, and a couple that we caught up later on. We'll make sure we get everybody here. I think I might even have some of the winners from some of the hotel matches out in the parking lot in the middle of the night. I've got a pretty comprehensive list here. But it all started really when, going into Worlds, we knew some players of the season, which was cool, which was, Caleb Hert, singles player of the season. Caleb and Isaac ended up winning the playoff for team of the season. Johnny Thomas, how about him as the seniors player of the season? And Emma Jernigan, great work, awesome player of the season playoff there. Juniors was Isaac Hert, co-ed doubles, Josie Clare and Braden Easterling. And I think that's one that, I think based on their performance later on in the week, I think people might have missed that one.
Right.
But that's pretty cool for a co-ed doubles player of the season. And then in Tier 2 singles, Ashton Watkins, whose name is going to come up again a little bit later on. But congratulations to all our players of the season. Co-ed doubles, Josie Clare and Braden Easterling, again, top 3 teams in co-ed doubles. Those guys outdistanced the Fretwells and Kelsey Heidert and Brandon Earls. Congratulations there. World Juniors champion, it was Isaac Hert over Bryce Jefferson, Noah Dennis. Nice third place right there. Women's, Maggie Geiger comes back to double dip Amber Fretwell. And Sarah Hardy, whose name popped up quite a bit during the course of the women's division. She was throwing fire and came in third, so nicely done there. Tony Pena takes seniors over Johnny Thomas, and Mick Hoaksang, whose name just continues to pop up with he and his brother, takes third. In the ACO Blind Draw Championships, Hunter Powers and Isaac Hert. We took down Kaz Barkley and Parker Burgett. Congratulations there. In the ACO Bring Your Own Partner Blind Draw Quads, Austin Thomason, Willie Johns, and Isaac and Caleb Hurt took the quads, and that was a powerhouse team. And they took down Noah Dennis, Jacob Dennis, Daryl Macon, and Johnny Thomas. So they had to be throwing.
Those are some names you're throwing out there, but
pretty well to get that done. In women's doubles, it was Kim Dice and Chloe Arrington. I saw Kim had a very nice post, and I think Chloe as well, about that experience over Kennedy Meineke and Justine Smith, another name, 2 names there who kept popping up over the course of the week. Seniors doubles, Johnny Thomas and Daryl Macon, both of the nemesis, if you will, of Philip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja, but I'm sure he was happy to see those 2 team up. And they took down Fergie and Willie Johns for the doubles championship in seniors. In the juniors double championship, Riley Brewster and Caleb Rogers. Ooh. That was one that I know Phil was high on all the way through, and I think he got that one right in his picks. Took down Skylar Foster and Sammy Van Sickle on center court. That was a great match. And Ashton Watkins and Mason Higgins take third place there. In the Slider Cup Open, it was Team Hert in the regular Slider Cup, but then we had the Slider Cup non-pro, and that was Team Smith. And I don't know who was on Team Smith, but that's the first. Why is it only in something we do once a year that we get the name Smith? Every time else, it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not sure. But congratulations to Team Smith in the Tailgater Championship. And this was big. What a weekend in the tailgater.
Dude, the
upstairs.
tailgater zone just was popping
so much fun
all weekend long. So hopefully all our bag partners that were involved with that, had a successful event. But we felt like it was great.
And when we get to the results after we're done, we're going to be saying a lot of thank yous to the crew and to the bag partners. So don't let me forget about that, because I've got all that queued up and ready to roll. But Matt Heating and Chris Day from Elite Bag Company, who had one of the more awesome displays there in Owensboro out front of the convention center, where they were making custom bags. It was very cool to have Elite there doing that. Congratulations on winning the Tailgater Championship, Matt Heating and Chris Day. Lifetimer Championship again. Ashton Watkins steps up and takes down Scott Mitchell for the Lifers Championship, and that was a very hotly contested tournament. Free entry, single elimination. I know a lot of people really wanted that one. Congratulations to Ashton Watkins. And then the CO Shootout, the certified official shootout, Trey Howard took down Craig Irvin in the finals. Craig Irvin had himself a very nice showing over the course of the week. But congratulations, Trey Howard, out of all the COs. That's a pretty big accomplishment there. So nicely done. Let's see. I want to see, make sure I got everything here. Blind draw quads, I hit that. ACO juniors doubles, I made sure I got that. Wanted to make sure I hit all those. All right. World doubles. We're going to get into some of the others here in a second, but how about this? Because I want to go back to Tier 3. Paul Overton and Eli Haycraft take first place in Tier 3. And then doubles Tier 2, it was a split bracket. That shows you how huge the division was. Tier 2, 2B, Matthew Davis and Tommy Worley, who took the overall second. Congratulations to you guys. And Antoine Powell and Jacob Whaley in Tier 2A. Overall, they were the overall winners, so congratulations to you guys as well. In World Doubles, tied for fifth, Daniel Kohensky and Jaden Gamblin, tied with Willie Johns and Austin Thomason. Scotty Ball in for fifth. Scotty Ball and Dustin Arant were in there for fourth. The Miller-Smith twins, Steve Smith and TJ Miller, took third. And then in what was maybe one of the greatest matches, one of the most amazing matches of the entire week, this doubles final with Michael Lucas Jr. and Michael Dingus against the Herts was amazing to watch. That was really cool. And again, it's a welcome back to the ACO for Team Michael.
Absolutely. It was fun to see those guys coming back. It was fun to see a lot of players coming back to the ACO. I love it. And I love the what they bring to the table coming here, man.
Yeah, they brought a very cool, calm, and collected center court presence, and obviously used to a big stage, and it was good to see them back, and it was good for me to meet them for the first time, because I was kind of coming in as they were gone. So that was cool to meet up with those guys. But congratulations to Caleb and Isaac for taking the doubles championship, a three-peat for doubles 3 years in a row. That's pretty amazing.
Will it be 4?
Will it be 4?
Is anybody out there going to stop them, man?
Well, we shall see. In the World's Tailgater, I mentioned Elite Bags took down that. Second was Brothers Bags. In the certified official shootout, again, Trey Howard and Craig Irvin. In the lifers, we talked about Ashley Watkins over Scott Mitchell. And then in the adaptive, Matt Davis and Russell Love, man, Hot Wheels teamed up to take our first ever World's adaptive title over Nelson and Tim.
Yeah, Hot Wheels has already reached out to me. We're going to be doing that in Buffalo.
Right out of the chute.
Right out the chute. Adaptive cornhole.
At the end of the month in Buffalo, you'll see that on Save the Date. But congratulations to Batman and Russell Love. And Batman is continuing. I think we had some time with him at the end of the Adaptive Cornhole Finals, where he was talking about all the different organizations, the Wounded Warrior and others who he's reached out to, who we're going to continue to build in Season 20. Adaptive Cornhole is going to be a very big part of the ACO moving forward. In the singles, I mean, 3 different tiers, and it was Tier 3 had an A and a B division. Lisa Hill, congratulations. She came in overall second in Tier 3 singles. Eric Daugherty, overall first in Tier 3 singles. Nicely done. Devin Thompson, who ended up being the overall winner of Tier 2, was in Bracket D. Congratulations there. Overall third was Nick Close in Tier 2C. Overall fourth, Matt Davis. Again, Batman, nicely done. The overall fourth. And Hayden Fridley, overall second in Tier 2A. So it was, let me make sure I got this right, Davis fourth overall, Nick Close third overall, Hayden Fridley overall second, and Devin Thompson overall first in tier play in singles. And as we all witnessed, it was a battle of the brothers. It was its own Virginia Civil War, if you will. Hert versus Hert. How many times have we predicted it? How many times have we asked if we would see it? We finally saw it, and it paid off in spades. What a battle between an amazing winner and a gracious second-place finisher between Caleb and Isaac Hert. Fifth place and tied for fifth, Gary Bearpaw and Doug Parker both had great weeks. Daryl Macon in fourth, another great week. Braden Easterling in third place, and he came in throwing gas. That guy, I think he might have been the biggest wild card in that entire mix as we were going through the brackets of that final 32.
Yeah, no, he did it. He did a job there for sure.
Yeah, and Caleb and Isaac battled until the scenes that you see up on the screen erupted on center court, and our brand new king of cornhole, congratulations to Isaac Hert, who, if I'm not mistaken, has already been out getting fitted for his king's ring. Is that right? Am I understanding that correctly? I think we actually have some pictures. Yeah, there he is. I thought, did he decide to get engaged? I didn't even think he was. And then you told me what that was. But yeah, getting fitted for his king's ring. So congratulations to Isaac. And no, I did not steal his glasses, and he did not steal mine.
So that's so exciting. I was talking with him and Mama Bear the other day, so when he was out there getting fitted. So I love it, man. So
and he went to Jared.
Hopefully we'll be presenting his ring to him in Hamilton at the first Pro Series.
Oh, that'd be great.
And, speaking of Pro Series, I mean, we ran that Pro Series test run at the World Championships.
And that's what I wanted to end on. I wanted to end on the Pro Series skins game, because that was one that was so much fun to watch, because all we did was host it. These guys were playing for the money that they put into it. $250 buy-in. You had to buy your way in, as we said, and win your way out. And Jonathan Nail, I wanted to end on you, because that was a really nice payday, and it was really fun to see you and a handful of other names that we hadn't seen in that final bracket. So kudos to you, my man.
Well, and I love the fact that, again, these men and women, put up their own money.
Yeah.
We paid it all back to them. We broadcast all these events for them. Put them front and center on the center court. And it was really, Finn, it was a test for us, right? We wanted to see how receptive both the players would be and the audience that was watching this would be. And I'll tell you right now, Finn, as we're sitting here, skins is definitely a game of the future. And the ACO is going to make that bigger and bigger and bigger as each year goes on. And I'm excited. Hopefully, we're trying to figure out a way that we might be able to even run an open skins tournament this year. Just kind of some kind of exhibition tournament for anybody and everybody. The big issue is the scoring aspect right now. Is really getting the software in place that we could actually pull that off. So, but anyway, I know that I love the skins game. I think players are taken to the skins game. I think spectators are taken to the skins game.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that came up was the awards and the things like that, and the barrelhead that Jonathan took with him is a nice keepsake. We will be able, now that we know that it will be a part of what we're doing, because the thing was, it had been offered for free for pros to enter it all season long. The buy-in, as you said, the buy-in part of it was the question mark. Would there be enough people? And all of a sudden, bang, all 32 were kind of slotted in, and we're like, oh, all these trophies are already made. So there will be a plan to put that in and make it a part of what we're doing in the future, and retroactively being able to then create the proper prizing with the proper identification. So retrofitting it is the key. But Jonathan, so much fun. Phil and I were talking about this. How much fun it was.
Thanks again, Jonathan. For winning.
Scott, well, I mean, and good for you. And Scotty Stoffergen and a handful of others, is names that we hadn't seen in that final bracket. It was really cool to see that and to be able to see some new games. And as we always say, new names and new games on center court. So that was awesome, and that was really where I wanted to end, because that is really where we will begin moving into the new season.
Yeah, and I'd like to go back, if we can, Finn, just to the majors that we're talking about for season 20 a little bit. Just because you had said there's some that are in the works and things like that. I hope to have some stuff. I know that the Oz had something else that he wanted to share a little bit. But I can tell you right now, Finn, I just got a call. I think we've got one added to like the East Atlantic, East, Northeast.
Okay.
So something maybe out in the Pennsylvania way.
Okay.
Maybe something out in the Maryland way. So that's really close to coming. Probably we'll know by the end of this week, first of next week on those. I think we have another one or two out west that are going to be coming into play. And then we've got one in the central part of the country that is being added to the mix that I think everybody's going to love that one. That one's in December, near the Christmas time standpoint. So that's going to be a fun one for sure.
Well, and I think you're seeing the list there now. Again, this is a save the date, and this is a partial list. We're still going to add to it a couple more Pro Series and whatnot. But you'll see, the Midwest and the Eastern Seaboard have really been the breadbasket for a long time. The continued movement west. Is this west if you're looking at me? This is west if you're looking at me. Movement west, whether it's to Oregon or Southern California, or we've done Vegas in the past, Texas, right, the dead center of the country, working your way towards Louisiana, Mississippi and whatnot, Florida to the northeast, Michigan, northern Ohio, northern Indiana. Anything that we can do to try to expand and spread it out. And when we get to the save the date, again, here in a moment, there's something else we're going to talk about the format of the majors. But hold that thought just for 1 second, because while we wrap up the conversation about the Worlds, a big thank you to the crew. And honestly, we could name the crew. You saw the crew. Everybody that was involved with it, from the scoring, the best tournament directors on the planet Earth for any kind of tournament in that tent, to upstairs in both the red and the blue rooms up there, handling everything in between. The whole nation, folks, they're covering everything, start to finish. The folks behind the merch booth, Gary and Darian specifically, who stood back there in front of a hot press, making sure you had all the gear that you needed, everything there. And then on the courts, on the broadcast side, the CBC guys, Steph, Phil, Heinerman behind the scenes, Mad Maz, everybody. It was just an absolute exhausting team effort to make it run, from what I can tell from the feedback, as well as it's possibly ever been run or could be run. So
100%.
Thanks to
I've been to every
everybody.
single one of them,
Have you?
and I can tell you it was the best run one we've ever had.
Yeah, and again, we talk about our crew, but we also want to talk very quickly about our partners upstairs. Basement Bags, Cornhole, Big Daddy Cornhole, Corner Graphics, High Roller Bag Company, State 31 Cornhole, new to the program this year. Killer Bees Cornhole, and then also, I didn't see that, Angry Panda, Arcane Bags, BD Bags, Bramey's Bags and Boards, Brothers Bag Company Elite, who we mentioned, who was out front, Lucky's, Charlie and his crew, and then down in the main lobby, you had Gusto down there, who had a pretty good week, Rocket Bags, Big D, CBC, those guys were down there repping. And again, and then there was Topo Mo Candies, which was kind of cool. There was just this crazy candy place right in the middle. So, and of course, it all circled around a whole nation. We mentioned that they had been covering it from top to bottom, and you've seen all kinds of great great videos from those guys. Some great winter videos. I think there was
that whole program that they started this year for us with the pitching for prizes. I think that
was fun.
It was a blast.
And they did that up there in the Green River link between the blue room and the red room where the Green River guys were. So I think Slow Ride won one of everything. I think he bought in and he won all kinds of stuff. But the pitching for prizes and all that was great. And I think they did, if I'm not mistaken, I went through but a very cool piece of Then and Now with Isaac from some old school video that they have of his. That was very cool. And Tracy and Rich just did a bang up job there as well. So there was something else. What else was it that from the Worlds? Oh, I know what it was. We did a special edition taco the week of the Worlds, and we did it there from center court, and it was an opportunity for some of the stream team members who were available and remembered their jerseys to come out and do a draft. So it was Stevie B, it was Philip, Dylan, Bill, and myself, and we each drafted a team of 5, and we basically went through the final finishes, and we added up their final finish, and then the lowest aggregate number was the winner. And before we get to that, I got to look back and see who that was. If somebody had happened to pick the King of Cornhole or the Queen of Cornhole in their draft team, they were going to win their own crown, a bottle of it. And Philip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja, was able to pull Isaac out of the heap of potential champions, and so he scored his own crown to accompany Isaac's crown, and he cannot share that crown with Isaac for a few more years. He can share it with me all he wants to and the rest of the team. Who was it? Let me look back here. Who was it that won the overall draft? Oh, yeah.
We're not going to forget this one. But
Finn is his name. No, there were some great teams drawn, and I honestly thought Steph had it because she had Caleb and Braden, who were 2 and 3 respectively. Right. She had Levi Haddock Parker, who was, I think that might have been her downfall. She went with her heart instead of her head, but she picked Parker, her son, and Brandon Earls. She had a total aggregate of 96. I had Dustin Arant, who was 9th, Douglas Parker, who was 5th, McKenna, who was 17th, Craig Irvin, who was 17th, and then Xavier Williams, who was 33rd for an aggregate of 81. So I just, by the skin of my hair of my chinny chin, was able to take first place. But some great picks all the way, some great finishes.
Okay, chinny chin, before we get off this subject.
But of me winning.
I remember that Heine took Douglas Parker, I think, as his pick for overall.
He took Bear Paw as his overall pick.
Bear Paw was his overall pick?
Yeah, he took Bear Paw as his overall pick and Parker as his dark horse.
So, and I had taken Caleb Hert as my overall pick. Okay. I can't remember who yours was.
I had Austin Thomason, I think.
As your overall pick?
Oh, no. Who did I take?
Austin Thomason was my dark horse.
No, I had Amish.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Yeah, so
I win the race between all of us.
Yeah,
so I just wanted to point that out.
What place did Austin Thomason get?
33rd.
I have 10 points. Parker and...
I'm just saying who got closest to the title. I'm not saying we didn't say that it was.
See, now the rules on this has changed.
I had 2 picks, I got 10 points.
Well, you didn't give me those rules going into it. It was who won. We were just picking a title, so our rules was who got closest
nobody
to
won
the
it then.
title.
If that's the case, then nobody won.
I got closest.
No,
just
it
face
doesn't
it.
matter.
Caleb Hurt.
You know, you should go play horseshoes.
Caleb Hurt, second.
You should go play horseshoes and hang.
Make up your rules after it.
That's where close counts.
All right.
Okay, so again, very quickly, thanks again to everybody that was a part of the event, from the crew to the bag partners. Again, congratulations to all our winners. I, like you, I'm very excited about Season 20 in the Skins game. The Pro Series continuing to get bigger and better, and adding Jonathan's name to the list that included Doug Parker, Brandon Earls, Isaac Hert, Tyler Amos, and Caleb Hert. That's a pretty solid 6 right there for Season 19. So congratulations there. So back to the Save the Date. The last thing I want to hit on before we say one final thank you is the Save the Date. One of the things that you're going to notice too is there's going to be a couple of different formats available for some of the majors. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that for sure.
Go ahead. This is my chance to rest my voice.
Rest your voice. So one of the things that's been on the table for the ACO is right out the gate is, as everybody knows, our majors have been set up where we're Friday, Saturday right now. For the last 15 years, that's the way we've been. We are going to change a little bit there, where a couple majors this year will run on a Saturday, Sunday. So that's a little bit of a change of a format. We're doing that right out the gate down at the OCC Roadhouse in St. Pete's, Florida there. So while we're up in Buffalo on that Friday, Saturday with the traditional structure of an ACO tournament with the incorporation of the adaptive cornhole, down in Florida we're going to be running on Finn, believe this, Sunday, Monday, because that's Labor Day. Okay. So we're doing a Sunday, Monday. Saturday night This place that we're at has live music and bands that are coming in, so there'll be 3,000 to 5,000 people at the facility that we'll be playing cornhole at the next day.
And which one is this? Clearwater?
So that's down in Clearwater at the OCC Roadhouse. So that's a really cool one. We're also talking about a couple spots, as I was saying to you, out west. We might do an outdoor major. So that might be on the docket for this coming season. The thing that you and I talked about, Finn, a little bit is just that we are going to start shaking it up a little bit. The majority of the majors are going to run under the standard programming, but we are talking about doing some, outdoors, some, different time slots, different scheduling and stuff like that. So be paying attention. Don't think that everything this year is going to be cookie cutter, I guess is what we're saying.
Well, and I think some of this comes from the success of things like the Gulf Coast Classic, in Punta Gorda, and players really liking the opportunity to get up and play later in the day, go explore the area, the opportunity to come in and maybe not have to take a day off on Friday, but maybe, you can use a holiday Monday or whatever to do these things. And I think that's a good way to keep it fresh. I mean, again, we're still going to have very, very big majors. We're still going to have medium-sized majors. Our goal is to start new majors that will grow into medium, and medium will grow into large, so that the big majors can pay for these small majors to some degree and allow us to continue to put them.
Been working.
That's how it works. To put them around the country to make them more convenient for anybody and everybody that wants to be a part of what's coming in season 20.
Even outside the country, because one of the things in Manchester, where we ran this past year with our first international event, a lot of the 50 or 60 players from the United States that came out there to compete talked about how much they liked that we ran on that Saturday, Sunday there in Manchester. They liked the format of the whole structure. So that got us to thinking a lot about what we're doing here in the States. So to say that, too, is another thing. I just was on the phone with Daniel Lilly. I've got a conference call with him and the team on Wednesday of this week as we continue to, by the end of this week, we hope to put the announcement out there of the two majors that are two out in the UK this year. There's going to be one in November and one in March, just kind of giving you the preparatory word there. But I believe we're going to Birmingham, I think, is the actual location in November, and then we're going to be back in Manchester, in March.
All righty then. So the growth continues, the expansion continues, the opportunity continues. There's going to be more opportunity now, not just for those of you who have always played, but for people who've never played with us to join in as well. Lots of great stuff to announce over the coming month as we lead up to, again, the very first major, believe it or not, is 25 days from today. 24 days from today. Good God.
Which for me, that feels like a long time. I'm wow.
Not me, baby.
I got 3 weeks of relaxation. Not relaxation. Work. Preparing for the next season, man.
But the way you define relaxing to most people would be mind-bending work. Yeah. But, 24 days from today, everything starts. So if you've got comments, feel free to bring them. Again, as we always invite down into the comment section, we'll throw some responses back your way. But we'll do everything we can to answer your questions.
And just, Finn, one thing before you close, and I can't say it enough. I just want to thank the ACO team one more time for putting on the absolute best world championships we've ever run. And that's top to bottom, across the board. The team was incredible, and that's what makes the ACO what the ACO is this team that we've got behind us. So that's all I got.
Yeah, and the team that you have come to know and love that serve you, who are the biggest part of what this is all about too, and that's what makes up the ACO family. So when we say that word, we don't say it lightly, and we know what family means for better or worse sometimes, but it always ends up being for the better. So thanks again, a great season. Thanks again to everybody who was part of the world's Green River Distilling. We appreciate you guys. Everybody at the Owensboro Convention Center, Shelby and her crew, flawless as always. Dee and everybody at the bar, Mark and Dave and the entire crew at Visit Owensboro in Davis County. We certainly appreciate them. And it was one of those things where it's kind of our cornhole home away from home, Owensboro, Kentucky. Can't wait to get back there for the Super Major. And if you had an opportunity to go out and see some of the new places that are there and just enjoy the week, we're glad for it. And Margaret Barrett, thank you very much for donating some of your supplies, which we will be featuring in an upcoming episode of the Taco. We had some sponsor conflict here up front, but we'll make sure that we give a tip of the hat and once we get them on ice. So from a brewstillery standpoint, we'll do that as well. So thanks to everybody. Have a great rest of your Taco Tuesday. Again, the player jersey
Player
for
jerseys
season
are
20.
sweet.
Can you see the back?
Hey, if this dude can look good in it, anybody can look good in it.
And remember, it is slimming. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your Taco Tuesday. Have a great week. We will reconfigure. We will circle the wagons and get a new taco announced for you here coming soon. Maybe not the coming week, but very soon, so that you have everything you need to know. I am Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO. As always, thank you guys for bringing me into your universe. I appreciate being a part of it. He is Frank Geers, the Cornhole Dude, reminding you.
Let's get pitching.
What?